I'm Angus.
No, I'm Andrew.
And we're from Cracka Wines. And normally we do a lot of preparation in these videos. Normally we spend hours crafting our exact words. You know, they're very measured, very thought about.
Choreographed. Yes, with a little contemporary dance at the end.
Andrew just stuck his nose in this wine and said he thought it was quite sexy. So I thought we'd just get his unadulterated comments on film.
Good.
Take.
Yeah, sexy. So the good thing about these Shiraz By Farr, we'll talk about Shiraz By Farr in case you haven't seen the front here, is that it's Shiraz, but it's Shiraz not as we know it.
No.
And it's Shiraz that's done from Geelong, so a nice cool part of the world. And it's very much a Hello Northern Rhone style. So a little tiny bit of Viognier in there, and a whole lot of stems. And what that gives is this lovely
aromatic lift.
Aromatic lift.
Doesn't have the colour as well, like
no.
Doesn't the colour kind of, you don't get that massive depth of colour, because actually the colour actually settles on the stems. So when you take the stems out, you've lost a bit of colour. But sexy's a pretty fair comment, I think. I mean, it's $50 Shiraz.
Yeah.
So you know, let's be honest, you want to get something good, but it's not your same old Aussie $50 whack of American oak. Big pruny fruit.
Yeah.
You know, it really has a bit of interest, bit of 4% Viognier.
Which you don't actually see, which is quite good, because normally I'm not a big fan of Shiraz Viognier.
No, you're not.
Not at all. I don't like the obviousness. But this, look, this is a really, and it sounds really dumb to say so, but it's a really winey wine. And I mean, that sounds slightly odd thing to say, but it's not about fruit. It's more about like savouriness, and it's all about like earth and stems and a little bit of fruit in there.
Got to be careful with that kind of language, I think, because sometimes in winey wine people think, oh, I'm not going to like that because I'm not a cork jock.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I reckon everyone would get this.
Yeah.
I reckon they might expect a bit more. They might expect that slap in the face of Shiraz, of Australian Shiraz, but it is. You know, it's supple.
Yeah, it is. Some
grainy tannins there. Bit of kind of herbal, herbal meaty, dare I say ham.
Ham. Definitely a little bit of ham in here. Look, the only thing I'd say about this, and it's very much a product of the vintage, that there's a little bit of warmth. There's just that little bit of warmth through the back, which is probably 08 right there. I mean, a really very hard year.
13% though.
Yeah, I know. It just tastes a little
early
bit
pick.
Towards the back for me. Just that little tiny bit. It just tastes that little bit. Look at just like a little tiny bit of freshness.
Not as I think I would concur.
Okay.
But I would also neck a bottle quite easily.
Okay. Well, that's all that counts. It's given the Angus big thumbs up.
Yeah,
I'll say like mine's about that way up. I'm sort of in this position right now.
I would neck that quite easily.
So what we have here though, we've got the 2007 to compare it along with. And Angus is excited already. So the 2007...
I'm more excited.
Look, he's more excited, and I reckon I'd be more excited too. Just a little bit of a more friendly vintage in many ways. And also the extra year of bottle age is really going to help to sort of round out a little bit of sharpness. I actually admitted just before to Angus that, look, these wines always can be a bit divisive for me. There's plenty of times when I've opened up and I've been like, not a big fan. So...
By Farr or Bannockburn?
No, just of Geelong Shiraz in particular, that I find that it's a little bit hit and miss for me, historically.
Yeah, cool.
So when I stick my nose in here and go, ooh, then I know that there's some promise, that I'm excited, that this is like, hey, I've stumbled on some good ones. This...
It's a bit... I mean, this one is... Again, kind of warm, shows some warmth. The fruit is not as sexy.
No.
It's a more traditional Australian style. Yeah, very
a bit more broader and richer.
What happens when we don't script it, mate?
I know, God. So the difference here, I reckon, is that compared to this, which is quite spicy, this actually is just quite rounded almost. Yeah. You know, this almost tastes like...
a Great Western. It tastes like...
basically. It's just like...
We'll have to ring Jonathan Mogg up and tell him to learn Adam Wadowitz.
So, look, I was really expecting to like that 07 more, but in the wash, I much prefer that 08. I like the spiciness. You know, I like the spice. I like the... You know, I like the fact that it's like, hey, yeah, we're not just... We're not a little bit tawdry like this. Yeah. This is more svelte. Yeah. You know, this is just more about lines and angles and stuff, which, I think I dig. Angus?
Yeah, I agree. I like 08 better. 07's just ripe around. It's like, it's a good, solid Australian Shiraz, but that's got more of the By Farr thumbprint.
Do you know what? That's much more By Farr.
Yeah. very far.